Joined by head women's basketball coach Rusty Kennedy. And Coach, first of all, how's your summer been going?
Been going well. I've been on the road quite a bit during July, during the two recruiting windows, and looking for the future. And I know our young ladies have been working out and had finished camp, so it was an eventful summer.
Before we go into talking about that, let's just recap last year. Of course, made some strides with the double-digit victories. I think, something a lot to build on because you got a lot of returning players coming back from that squad with, 7 seniors. I think that's a lot of excitement for this team going into this coming year.
11 and 17 last year. But, we lost 11 single-digit games in conference.
Yeah.
So while we finished, I think, 11th in conference, maybe, when you lose 11 single-digit games, 2 or 3 of those go your way. We very easily could have been 9th.
Yeah.
You get 4 or 5 of them, you're sitting there in the playoffs. So we were 11 and 17 doesn't necessarily do credit to how close we were, but close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, not in basketball.
Yeah, let's don't get the hand grenades out. But
Sure.
So now let's go back to, again, you touched on your recruiting. I mean, you brought in a lot of new players. Talk about them. Of course, you got Taylor McCauley, a local product. It's always nice when you get local players like that to come in, and you got a good variety of players. You brought in some junior college transfers as well.
Sure, we had 11 young ladies back who were affiliated with our program. 9 of which lettered last year for us on our roster. Then Stephanie Dothett, who transferred in from Regis and Texas State, as were her 2 previous stops. And then we had Audrey Oliver, who redshirted for us from Las Cruces. So those were the 11 we had back. And then it just, recruiting worked out pretty well. And we hit on some players and probably took a few more than we normally would. But we're still building for the future, and anytime you have to lose 7 seniors, you want to make sure the cupboard's not bare when 7 seniors disappear. Went out to junior college, got Michael French from Lake Region, starting point guard in the national tournament. She's from Wisconsin, Racine, Wisconsin originally. She's going to add a lot of depth and athleticism to our point guard and our wing positions. We also went out in junior college and picked up Samantha White, who had size inside from Trinidad State, originally a New Mexico kid, 6 foot 6'1". And then we also picked up a JC transfer from Christiana Yepa, who's another original New Mexico kid from Dulce, I believe. And she's been at Ellsworth in Iowa the last 3 years. So we picked up those 3. Then we got 5 freshmen. One from Hawaii, Jade Botello, 5'10", very active, can do some things. We're excited about her future. Taylor McCauley, as you alluded to, from Cliff, who put up unbelievable numbers out of high school, who I really think is going to make a smooth transition to this level. We signed Lucy Benning early, 5'10" guard out of El Paso High in the early signing period. Then we signed Danny Keenan, who's a combo guard out of Chapin in El Paso. And I really think Danny's going to bring a lot to the table. And then Jasmine Ross from Andress High School out of El Paso. So we've got a lot to choose from. There'll be some combinations of red shirts, things like that. You never know the things that come and hit us. But I think our depth's greatly improved this year.
And how do you like that now, going into your 3rd year? You've created that depth and that competition. I mean, that always makes it better, when you don't have just, one person at one position. At least
Sure.
You've got 2 or 3 people that are battling it out. It makes it a lot better.
Sure. We've come a long way in the 2 years, basically, going into my 3rd year here. That was one thing we struggled with when I first got here. No depth, truthfully limited talent, and we just weren't very athletic. And we had some nice players. We just never had many of them when I got here. And so now we have a lot more youth. We have a lot more athleticism. We have a lot more depth. So I think we're finally I'm not saying we've turned the corner in the program, but I'm saying we've gotten to the corner and we're peeking around, looking, and I think that we're on the verge of turning this thing into a very solid situation.
All right, Coach, I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.